blasts kill one neither Communist Party offices in China. CNN. A series of explosions in front of Communist Party offices in a northern Chinese province killed one person and wounded 8 others Wednesday morning, authorities said. The blasts occurred in Taiyuan, the capital of Shanxi province, police said in a post on Weibo, a Twitter-like microblog platform. State broadcaster CCTV reported on its Weibo account that several devices exploded in flower bushes in front of the gate of the Shanxi Provincial Communist Party offices. The Communist Party has ruled China for more than 60 years. The blast shattered the windows of nearby vehicles and shredded some of their tires, CCTV reported. Footage from the scene showed cars with smashed windows and smoke rising in central Taiyuan. State-run news agency Xinhua reported that steel bats were scattered at the scene, suggesting the explosive devices were homemade. Police halted traffic for several hours on roads near the scene of the explosions. At least one of the wounded people is severely hurt, CCTV said, adding that the exact number of casualties remained unclear. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the blasts, which occurred days before a major Communist Party leadership meeting is set to start in Beijing this weekend. Heightened security. Security concerns are already heightened in China following a deadly attack in Beijing's Tiananmen Square last week, in which a vehicle drove into a crowd of people, crashed into a footbridge, and burst into flames. Chinese authorities have blamed Uyghurs from the western region of Xinjiang for that attack, which killed 5 people, including the 3 in the vehicle, and wounded 40 others in the heavily policed heart of the Chinese capital. A hard Chinese security official said last week that a murky Islamic separatist group had instigated the attack, but there were no initial suggestions Wednesdays that the blasts in Taiyuan were related to the Tiananmen attack. Acts of violence, sometimes using rudimentary explosive devices or gasoline, take place from time to time in China. The culprits, according to authorities, are often local residents with personal grievances. In May 2011, a series of explosions hit government facilities in the eastern Chinese city of Furou. The blast killed 3 people, including an unemployed local man who authorities said was suspected of setting off the bombs. Earlier that month, a disgruntled former employee threw an ignited bottle of gasoline into a bank in a rural rural area of Gansu province. Authorities said the man had carried out the attack, which wounded 49 people in retaliation for being fired. In July 2010, a disgruntled businessman set off a homemade bomb at a local tax bureau in Hunan province in southern China, killing 4 people and wounding 20 others. Toronto Mayor Ford admits crack cocaine use, won't step down. CNN. Despite the call for him to step aside after he publicly admitted Tuesday using crack cocaine, Toronto Mayor Rob Ford said he will not step down and will run for re-election next year. I was elected to do a job, and that is exactly what I'm going to continue doing, he said during a news conference Tuesday at his office. We live in a democracy, and on October 27, 2014, I want the people of this great city to decide if they want Rob Ford to be their mayor. Earlier Tuesday, after months of dogging allegations, Ford told reporters that he smoked crack cocaine about a year ago. Probably, he said, during a drunken stupor. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine, but do I? Am I an addict? No, Ford said. Probably in one of my drunken stupors, probably approximately about a year ago, he said about the cocaine use. Ford said later that he knew he had embarrassed everyone in the city, and I will be forever sorry. He promised the people of Canada's largest city that his mistakes will never ever happen again. Pressure on Ford 44 increased last week when Toronto's police chief announced investigators recovered a video of the mayor that purportedly shows him smoking a crack pipe. That followed allegations into media reports in May that the video showed Ford using crack cocaine last winter. Toronto mayor says he won't resign despite possibly damning video. Ford, who had previously said he did not use crack and who has not been charged with a crime, made the admission to reporters earlier in the day outside his office in Toronto, after they asked him about the issue. Toronto City Councillor John Fisher, who had just introduced a motion to take many of the mayor's powers away from him, said shortly after admission that Ford needs to take leave. Wow, I need a minute to observe this, Flynn said. I think the mayor needs to step aside and take stock of his life as this situation becomes more absurd. Ford said no one he was close to knew of his drug use, not even his brother, Doug, a city councillor. I feel like 1,000 pounds have been lifted off my shoulders, Rob Ford said during the news conference. He said that he knows he will need to regain the trust and confidence of the people of Toronto. Ford said on a radio program Sunday that he was sorry for a lot of stupid things. He later clarified on the program, the city on CFRB, that his apology referred to 2 previously reported incidents, where he appeared to have been drunk in public and a lot of stupid things, all self-inflicted, that he didn't detail. He also said on that program that he wouldn't resign despite Thursday's announcement by police. Ford says he didn't lie. While speaking outside his office Tuesday, he said he hadn't lied, apparently referring to his previous statements on the matter. "You didn't ask the correct questions," he said Tuesday. "No, I'm not an addict. And no, I do not do drugs. I made mistakes in the past, and all I can do is apologize." When he addressed the allegations in May, Ford denied crack cocaine use in the present tense. "I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine," he told reporters then, according to CNN affiliate CBC. Ford has been mayor since December 2010. The video. In May, the website Gawker and the Toronto Star newspaper published stories saying their reporters had seen 90 seconds of a cell phone video showing Ford, as the Star described it, inhaling from what appears to be a glass crack pipe. Later in the video, as described by the Star, an incoherent man both the Star and Gawker claimed to be Ford ranted about a number of subjects. The video, which has never been released publicly, shows a clearly impaired mayor. 2 reporters who said they saw the video wrote in the Star. Then police recovered video from deleted files on a computer hard drive that was seized during a drug and gang investigation, according to a 465-page report by Toronto police disclosed on Thursday. The report includes hundreds of redacted pages and states that police sources believe a photo of Ford that first surfaced in May was taken in front of a trap house used to trap crack. On Thursday, Toronto Police Chief William Blair told reporters that the video featured images consistent with those that had previously been reported in the press. Blair said Ford appears in the video, but would not detail what he's shown doing. "I want to see the tape," Ford told reporters Tuesday that he wants to see the video. "There's been times when I've been a drunken stupor. That's why I want to see the tape. I want everyone in the city to see this tape. I'd like to see this tape. I don't even recall there being a tape and a video, and I know that. I want to see the state that I was in," Ford said. Police documents also detail evidence used to obtain a search warrant for a man suspected of drug trafficking, Alexander Sandro Lisi, who police said is the mayor's friend as well as his driver. Photos collected by police show Ford and Lisi together on a number of occasions, including attending a Toronto Maple Leafs hockey game, according to the documents. Lisi was arrested Thursday and charged with extortion, according to a police statement. He is accused of using extortion to retrieve a recording, it said. Blair said a digital video in police custody will be shown in court in an effort to support the charge against Lishy, who was released after a bail hearing Friday. His lawyer, Seth Winston, said, "A date showed up in safe haven in Canada." Germany summons UK ambassador over spying report. CNN. Germany's foreign minister summoned Britain's ambassador for talks following a report that Britain operated a secret listening post designed to spy on the German government in Berlin, Germany's Foreign Office said Tuesday. The eavesdropping report, published Tuesday in the British newspaper The Independent, is the latest allegation of one close ally spying on another that is said to have come from documents leaked by former U.S. national security contractor Edward Snowden. Britain's Foreign Office confirmed that its ambassador to Germany met Tuesday afternoon with a senior German official at Berlin's foreign ministry. Allies spying on allies is not new. The German government asked for a response to current reports in the British media and pointed out that such eavesdropping from the British embassy would violate international law, a spokesman for Germany's Foreign Office said. According to The Independent, the Snowden documents suggest that Britain, with high-tech equipment on the roof of its Berlin embassy, operated a listening station to eavesdrop on German officials. That last month, German and other European lawmakers visited the White House to discuss allegations of U.S. spying on allied leaders and citizens, including a report that the U.S. government monitored German Chancellor Angela Merkel's cell phone. Merkel said German confidence in the United States was shaken. The White House has said it is reviewing U.S. intelligence gathering operations, a purported manifesto for the truth from Snowden, published Sunday by German magazine Der Spiegel, alleged that the U.S. National Security Agency and its British counterparts are among the worst offenders of mass surveillance without oversight. Hundreds of teachers accused of dancing with strippers at school retreat in Paraguay. Asunción, Paraguay, CNN. A scandal erupted in Paraguay after hundreds of teachers were accused of dancing with strippers during an official retreat. The country's top education official has said she's investigating after a cell phone video showing teachers dancing with strippers were leaked to Paraguayan media, where headlines have described the events as an erotic party. The teachers had permission to miss class and participate in team-building activities at a retreat outside the country's capital of Asunción. But, according to an investigation by the Ministry of Education and Culture, they didn't just discuss lesson plans or teaching at the April retreat. A cell phone video provided to CNN affiliate. Telefutural shows shirtless male strippers dancing with female teachers at the event as onlookers. Cheer and music players. Some 800 teachers attended the event, officials said. The concern is, well, education is an essential service. So what are our motives for suspending classes? Well, for a day of training, right? Apparently with a union license. The content should be tied to educational priorities, Education Minister Martha Lafontaine said. The Education Ministry is investigating 79 school directors who participated in the retreat, which took place at a range about 25 kilometers, 15 miles, outside the capital. According to some school officials, the strippers' performances were not part of the event's official program and happened without the consent of the organizers. The president of the National Union of Directors of Public Institutions described the event as immoral and called for those responsible to be punished. First, the event's organizers should be sanctioned, Union Director Miguel Marcos said. But officials, he said, should take the punishment a step further. Then take them to a spiritual retreat, he said, and talk to them a bit about values. Apple releases its first transparency report. CNN. Apple is opening up about how many government requests it gets for customer information. The secretive company released its first transparency report on Tuesday, breaking down the number of account and device data requests it received from law enforcement by country for the first half of 2013. The United States submitted the most requests for account information, with 1,000 to 2,000 requests regarding 2,000 to 3,000 individual accounts. This request might be for personal information found in iTunes, Game Center, and iCloud accounts. The vast majority of requests the company receives are from law enforcement agencies trying to track down lost or stolen phones, tablets, and computers on behalf of Apple customers. Apple received 3,542 of this device information requests in the U.S. for 8,605 devices, and Apple turned over some of or all of the desired information 88% of the time. Germany met the second largest number of device requests, followed by Singapore. This is the first time Apple has released a transparency report. Google began disclosing data about its government requests in 2011 and releases an updated list every 6 months. Since the initial revelations about surveillance by the National Security Agency came to light earlier this year, there has been an uptick in the number of tech companies voluntarily releasing statistics on the government request they get. Apple joins Facebook, Yahoo, and other tech companies, taking part in a practice that is fast becoming industry standard. Apple is so secretive about everything it does. The fact that it is opening up shows that transparency really is the new standard, and the consumers are demanding it, said Nat Cardozo, a staff attorney with the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Though the information in the report is somewhat standard, Apple did include something different. The last line under the notes section in the report says, Apple has never received an order under Section 215 of the U.S. Patriots Act. We would expect to challenge such an order if served on us. Section 215 is the part of the Patriots Act the NSA could use to compel companies to hand over used data. If Apple did receive such an order, it would likely be accompanied by a gag order, so Apple would not even be able to say that it did or did not receive a 215 request. Cardozo says this type of disclosure is called a canary, and Apple is the first major tech company to include it. 6 months from now, we will look to make sure that line is included, and if they don't say they have not received a 215 request, we can assume they have, said Cardozo. Apple also joined Yahoo and Google and filed a brief in the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court asking for more transparency to discuss government requests openly and in more detail. Currently, the U.S. government only allows companies to talk about how many national security orders, including the numbers of accounts impacted, in ranges of thousands. We have reported all information we are legally allowed to share, and Apple will continue to advocate for greater transparency about the requests we receive, Apple said in the report. The other information in Apple's report was fairly standard. It's difficult to compare Apple's numbers directly to those previously disclosed by companies such as Facebook and Google. Though they're all technology companies, they are vastly different businesses and store different amounts and types of data about their users. Our business does not depend on collecting personal data. We have no interest in amassing personal information about our customers, Apple said in the beginning of the report. The statement seems to be big, directed at companies such as Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, and many others that do base their businesses on collecting their customers' personal information. The hunger for personal data isn't limited to governments, as it's also very lucrative for many technology companies.